Oh my goodness. Hey, shut up! Shut the up!
The non-amazing Lucas is over here crying about racism. Mind you, he's one of the biggest racists on YouTube. Insane.
A clip of Amber Rose on this After Dark podcast, and she's saying some absolutely outlandish things. And, you know, it gets to a point where I can't blame people like Amber Rose. And this is where maturity comes from, right? It's realizing that people like Amber Rose are always going to be a constant factor in life, always. And that the issue, who we have to put blame on, are the people who platform individuals like Amber Rose. If you have an idiot spewing just idiocy, I don't have a problem with that, right? It may be unfortunate, but I get it. The problem I have is when someone gives that idiot a mic. That's the issue I have, because you know better, bruh. You know better. And if you know better, you got to do better.
That's true. That's true.
I digress. You have her on this podcast. She's talking about, well, I never tell my kids that, you know what, you have to work 10 times harder because you're black.
And I never tell my kids they have to work 10 times harder because they're black.
Yeah.
You have to work just as hard as everyone else. And if you want to be, better, you know, like let's say the NBA, for an example, if you want to be like a real all-star, yeah, you got to work harder.
Yeah.
Let's just stop right there. Because the issue I have that I've noticed when it comes to this virus that is racism is that the one thing that is heinous about this virus is that it tells the body that it doesn't exist. You ever notice that throughout history, that when it comes to anti-black racism, it's never existed, right? It's never existed. The issue is always you. That if you think that it exists, well, you're the problem. If you acknowledge the discriminatory behavior, if you acknowledge the anti-black behavior, the behavior isn't the problem. You are, okay? If the owner of the shop is being anti-black, well, what do they tell you? Well, just don't go to the shop then. But if that owner was being an anti-Semite, that shop would be shut down.
No one is saying that racism doesn't exist. No one's saying that it never existed. People are saying it shouldn't be your end-all, be-all. You shouldn't condition people to hate another race because racism existed once upon a time. You don't understand the logic behind that? That's crazy.
Crazy!
And yeah, if there is some racism, you shouldn't go there. I've gone to restaurants where there was some racism. The owners were not white. Yeah, crazy, right? White people aren't the only ones that have the possibility of being racist. Astonishing. But yeah, I just chose not to go there anymore. And it was what it was. That was years ago. Never been there ever again since. What's wrong with that? Lucas is crazy, bro. Like he wants everything to be like some kind of war. Literally.
That shop would be shut down. But when it becomes anti-black, then they tell you, well, listen, if you don't like the shop owner, then go to a different shop, okay? This is America. And it's like trying to help someone who doesn't want to be helped, right? If somebody has an alcohol problem, until they accept that they have an alcohol problem, that they're an alcoholic, they can't get help. And that's the cruel irony of racism in this country. And it's that this mindset is only exclusive to Black Americans. It's only exclusive to our grievances, our problems, right? That's where, you know, the people turn a blind eye. What are you talking about? I'm colorblind. And when you become colorblind in a non-colorblind country, what do you think is going to happen? There is not going to be any change because you're ignoring the problems. There aren't going to be any solutions because you're ignoring the problems. Nothing is going to happen. And, you know, that's what has happened. Nothing. Is that the same problems, the same grievances that, you know, our parents had, that their parents had, are still present in 2026.
You got to stop. No progress has been made. Not a single change. Word. Are there still like white only water fountains? What is he talking about? Lucas on a 24/7 basis just be jibber jabbing. He'll say a bunch of things that don't actually mean anything. It would take a 2-second search and you'll find out that what he says doesn't make any sense at all. No change, nothing. It's still like our parent. No, it's not even close. Like you're bugging.
Times harder, you know, just because you're black, you're ignoring the history of this country. You're ignoring present day. We have a black kid, Nolan Wells, gone. What's the word? Now, if this had been a white kid, you would have Trump gotten everybody on. The CIA, the FBI, aliens, he would have gotten everybody on this case. You have, black kids constantly, black youth, black men, black women constantly. I've done stories on it. But what do you have? Ashley Babbitt. And then you have the president going to her funeral talking about, oh, she's a great patriot, vilifying the black officer. So when you say stupid things like this, you're showing basically that you're ignorant. That you're absolutely ignorant, because that is the hustle of this country, is that, hey, listen, we're all in this together, bro. We're all in this together. You're all in this together until you have a problem. Do you ever notice that? Until you have a problem, then it's like, well, lift yourself up by the bootstraps, right? Lift yourself up. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. And I'm sick and tired of people peddling this foolishness where the truth is so blatant and overt right in your eye. That's what I don't understand. How can you say this when we're literally seeing it in real time? That's not the case. That's always been the issue, is that, yes, due to the color of your skin, there are prejudiced people who will discriminate against you. Are we acting like that's not the case? Are we acting like, as far as your skin color has not been a determining factor in many outcomes? Like, what are we talking about? That's not because we deem it so. That's because the people who are in positions of power, they have an issue with it. Bro, we see this even in the dating scene. We have a whole bunch of white men trying to shame their women, white women, for getting with black men or something like that. Mud sharks and all their stupid names that they try to come up with. What are you talking about? To act like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see a problem. I'm not going to tell my child you have to work 10 times harder because you're black. I'm not going to do that. It gets to a point where, like, you're old enough where you should know better, bro. You should know better. Like, if you a kid and you saying this goofy stuff, sure, I can't blame you. I'm going to blame your parents because they're leading you astray. They're leading you, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, you're leading them into a burning house.
I want to try to quote Martin Luther King Jr., but not go by anything else that he says. You ain't leading with love, none of that, right? The way that you attack white people, you think that that's what Martin Luther King Jr. would have said or wanted? Like, what is wrong with Lucas?
What's wrong with you?
Like, sometimes I'm like 100% sure that this is all just a grift. And then other times I'll be thinking like, nah, he really is a nincompoop. This guy's a simpleton, and I don't think anyone should be listening to him. You shouldn't be following him for information, in my personal opinion. I think that you're just going to be led astray. You're going to be led down the wrong path, the nasty, extreme, woke path. There's a few people that's in there. You got the non-amazing Lucas, aka the amazing Bottom. You got Hassan Piker. There's a few people. You don't ever want to be like them. Some people be grifting to try to be like them. I think it all ends badly, but that's just me personally. That's my opinion.
Said, you're leading them into a burning house. And then she follows it up with, well, I'm not going to tell someone that your skin color is going to limit your greatness. I'm not going to do that.
But you have to work just as hard as everybody else. Your skin color in America is not going to stop you from being great. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit.
I miss you like a hog miss slop.
This is what's so evil about it, because no one's ever said that your skin color is going to limit your greatness. That's never been an argument. So she's presenting a straw man argument, right? And then chopping it down like she's really saying something. She's not saying anything, bro. No one's ever said that your skin color limits as far as your greatness. That's not what we're saying. What we are saying is that what we have historically and even presently, that there are racist people who do not like you because of your skin color. They don't care about the content of your character. They never have and they never will. Do you think that the slaves, they were all just bad people? Is that what you think? They were all just bad people and that's why they were enslaved? That's why they held them in bondage, in captivity all these years? That's what it was? No, it was never about the content of their character. They didn't even say that. Do you understand? Do you understand they never even agreed with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.? Do you understand that? I want you to think about that. He said that. They never said that, bro. He said that. They were like, oh, that's interesting that you believe that because we believe something entirely different. And they've been showing you what they believe for quite some time. And just to interrupt for a second, I want to let everyone know of Black Doc.
Get up out of here with that, man. Get up out of here with that. No one wants to see that. Get it off the screen. I'm not going to no website that you endorsing or that you're sponsored by or whatever. Cool. But hearing Lucas say all these things is making me wonder, what white woman hurt his feelings? She hurt his heart. It's either that or the Candace Owens thing, because I heard back in the day he shot his shot at Candace Owens and she was like, get away from me. And now, because her husband happens to have been white, now he has this hate for people of a certain skin color. That's disgusting. But overall, I think his actions show how disgusting he is, bro. Lucas is foul. Super foul. I do believe that he's grifting at the same time as he believes a lot of this bull crap. Those Dr. Umar courses that he was taking did not work out well for him at all, actually. His daddy being Dr. Umar, that probably sealed the deal on Lucas's downfall.
So now what? They killed that man. The man who said that he done. Who's no longer with us. Well, damn. So what are we talking about here? Where's the argument here? Okay. Now, yes, you can become great regardless of your skin color, but to act like there aren't certain obstacles in America that are exclusive to Black people as opposed to other groups is asinine. It is ahistorical.
Hate to keep interrupting, but he just brought up Martin Luther King passing away as some type of example of, look what happened. Look what they did to him. Martin Luther King did pass away, and it seemed like it was because they didn't want his message to go out there. But what about Malcolm X? Who did that to him? You don't want to talk about that. What happened to Malcolm X? Who was that did the whole get your hand out my pocket thing? Was that another Black person? Wait, Black people actually conspired to do some? It's almost as if mentioning that would kind of like debunk all the other bull crap that you're saying. But no hate towards Martin Luther King at all. I just hate that people are using his passing as an excuse for them to not like a group of people based on the color of their skin. And yes, Black people can be racist. That the hell is wrong with people saying that that's not true? I don't know. It's crazy.
It is ahistorical. So that's the issue. So yeah, we both can become great. But what, a Black person may have to drive around and circumvent is going to be very different from what a white or an Asian person who has, who has to get to that same destination. That's the whole point. But when we talk about, hey, how about we remove some of these roadblocks? Well, what do they say? Well, listen, it's either anti-white racism, which is, man, that's that's really screaming the quiet part out loud. That's what they're doing. By them saying it's anti-white racism by removing roadblocks for Black Americans in America, that tells you all you need to know. Or B, well, hey, listen, you got to lift yourself up by the bootstraps. That's all they say. That's all they say. It's never about, well, no, you're right. We should remove some of these roadblocks in your way. We should remove some of these obstacles because they're not present in any other group. Right? They seem to be exclusive to this one group of people. And it's this naivete or this foolishness or this need to make money, because that's what happens when you get into this country. They force you to forego all your scruples, all your principles, all your morals in order to get that paycheck, right? We see what this country does, day in and day out. So you will have someone turn a blind eye to all the systematic and systemic problems within Black America that are exploiting and depriving people of just basic decency, right? Of even the culture they have destroyed. And they are shocked to see what comes from the culture that they have force-fed these group of people. Shocked to see and blame you for you engaging in the culture that they have commercialized and produced for you for a profit. Damn. Because guess what? They have monetized every step of the way. Whether it's the school to prison pipeline, they make money. You in school, they make money. You in prison, they make money. You have a job, they make money. You don't have a job, they make money. Do you not understand that? They win every step of the way. Whether you listen to rap music and the degeneracy they put out to the youth, they make money. Whether you don't listen to the rap music and the degeneracy they put out, they make money. All it is commercialism. That's what it is. And it's the foundation. The foundation of that commercialism is Black American.
I think there's a huge difference between noticing the powers to be, as I like to call them sometimes, or the elite using certain things like commercialism to control a certain group of people based on income and not their color of their skin. Noticing that is way different from taking that and trying to blame it on one race. That's disgusting. In fact, play a nasty song for Lucas. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, you nasty. You nasty fam, yeah. You know your name.
Yeah, Lucas will take something that has like small truth to it and then expand it in this nasty grift that he's doing. Where it's like, it's all for racism. No, that's not what's happening, Lucas. Not even a little bit. Yes, racism exists. And yeah, I do believe that there are people in power and they're moving certain things to get, I guess you could say, certain missions accomplished. I think that that's clear as day, but I don't think it's on some, we gotta not let Black people win. There's so many successful Black people. Lucas, as much as a clown he is, he's super clown, big clown. He is somewhat successful, right? And he's Black, I think. Why is he not holding these things into account?
So the more you have Black Americans who try to ignore the obvious, that they put it so overtly in your face, the easier it is for them to go on about their day. The easier it is, for the foundation to be secure. I'm saying that foundation needs to be broken up. That's what that needs to happen. There has to be some pushback in all aspects, and ignoring it and saying, well, you can do anything you want. And that's another thing I have. I have an issue with people who say you can do anything you want.
We live in a free country. You can be whoever the fuck you want to be.
Because even if you believe that, you shouldn't. Okay? Even if you believe you can do anything you want, you shouldn't. Because you have been blessed with gifts and talents. Whether or not you want to say from your parents, from your God, I don't care. But you have been blessed, every single person has been blessed with gifts and talents, okay, with abilities that no other person may have. And for you to completely turn a blind eye to things that you are innately gifted and talented at is just a smack in the face to God and to your parents, right? It's a smack in the face to your genes. So no, I don't agree with you can do anything, you can be anything you want. Why would you? If you have a talent for medicine, if you have a talent, whether it's for athleticism, right? Whether it's football, basketball, whatever, if that is where your talent is, then pursue your talent. The problem is, what I would argue is that many people aren't pursuing their natural God-given talents and abilities. You doing everything but that. You are gifted with an amazing talent of, understanding the human body, understanding, chemistry and yada, yada and whatnot. And you want to be a saxophone player.
Now, I do agree with that aspect of there's a lot of people that have natural talents, and instead of leaning into that, they're doing something else. Like Lucas, why are you not at a circus? Why are you not there with the makeup on and all that? Like, I think you would be an amazing clown. Why not be at the circus? Universal Soul Circus not still open? No? Blackity black, blackity black.
Yo, because I'm Black and I'm Black.
Black.
Blickety black.
I'm just trying to help.
Black.
I just figured that would be a better career move than whatever this is. This is trash. I don't know why you think it's hot fire. It's not good. Not good. Giving bullcrap opinions, lying like you breathe, and having hatred for people based on the color of their skin. I don't think that's a good path for you to have gone down. But hey, I ain't your daddy. That's Dr. Umar.
A saxophone player. They're like, bruh, med school is calling you. They got your name right there, but you want to be a saxophone player for some reason. But that's another story in and of itself. But at the end of the day, what more can they take from us? What more do you want, bro? Huh? What more do you want? Because I'm sick and tired of hearing all these Sambo soldiers just saying just stupid stuff, right? It's just saying idiocy. And then when their wake-up call comes, when it actually knocks on the door, they still, turn a blind eye to it. Because why? They're too deep in it. If you have created your whole bedrock of who you are as a person is predicated off of more racism, where is it? I don't see anything. Then of course you're going to turn a blind eye, even when it's staring you in the face. I'll end it with this, because she wants to say that, hey, you can be anything you want. So let me get this straight. In a world, in a country that you can be anything you want, you literally decided to be a hoe. Make that make sense.
Lucas, you a hoe. Like, what are we talking about? Yeah, a whole ass still counting items. Yo, editing, bleep the N-word out, even though I'm black. How YouTube's gonna respond. Bleep it out again, because I'm saying right now. And you can leave this in. Lucas a whole ass. Bleep the N-word though. I think that Lucas need to shut up. Man, he's just talking just to talk. He's a bum.